Honorable Minister for Information Technology and Communications, Dr. Palle Raghunath Reddy Garu, respected J. Satyanarayana Garu, who has joined as the advisor to the government on information technology and e-governance, Mr. J. Chaudhary Garu, Srini Raju Garu, Shiv Prasad Garu, Bipin, Honorable MLA from Visakhapatnam, Raju Garu, dignitaries on the dais, members of the IT industry fraternity, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the government of Andhra Pradesh, I'd like to extend a very warm welcome and my gratitude to all of you for having come for this interactive summit, interactive meet with the IT Minister at such a short notice. Friends, information technology has played a huge role in shaping the future of this country and the state of Andhra Pradesh and the city of Hyderabad. But in the changed circumstances, you will all appreciate that as far as Andhra Pradesh is concerned, the focus now will have to move to other major towns. And in considering the importance of the inputs from the industry, this particular meet has been organized. The state government of Andhra Pradesh has also prepared a blueprint, the copy of which has been circulated to all of you. And the idea was to have this first interactive session with all of you to get the inputs on the blueprint and try and present a perspective on how we look at the future of information technology and the vision that the government of Andhra Pradesh has laid out for the development of this sector. Before getting into further ado, friends, I have a bit of a presentation. These are opening slides just to set the ball rolling, and then later on we will have inputs coming in from the dignitaries and the chief guest on, and also the open house, where we would be eliciting your opinions and suggestions and your feedback for developing information technology industry in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Friends, from those mighty figures of 65,000 crores, we have come down to the brass tacks now. These are the figures for the information technology industry. And if you look at the figure, the clear sense comes to us that the size of the industry in the residual Andhra Pradesh is very, very small. Although there are entrepreneurs from all over who have invested globally, but as far as the investment in the residual state of Andhra Pradesh is concerned, the figures are minuscule and comparable to the figures that we had possibly in the late 90s as far as the state was concerned in information technology. Friends, there's some infrastructure which exists in various cities. There are problems with that infrastructure, but to an extent we have some presence in Visakhapatnam where we have IT layouts. And important thing is we are also coming up with incubation spaces, which is all getting ready, and possibly in the next month or so we'll have the incubation spaces coming up in Visakhapatnam and in Kakinada and Tirupati. And the idea is to promote the startup culture and get major companies to invest in. We also have significant presence in Vijayawada, where we have more than 200,000 square feet available, built up, and available for any major company which would like to come and occupy that space close to the airport in Vijayawada. Friends, in terms of the vision, our advisor would be presenting a high-level vision on where we expect the state of Andhra Pradesh to move in over the period of next 5 years. But all of you would agree that the next generation belongs to the social, mobility, analytics, and cloud. And this is where we would like to harness the advantages which Andhra Pradesh presents and try and attract companies and try and put in policies which can favor the companies working out in these particular sectors. As far as the action plan is concerned and the pillars of growth, all of you would agree that what's required from the state side, proactive policies and their strict implementation. We also require missionary approach because it's a situation wherein you are starting from scratch. So you will require a missionary approach with clear timelines and adherence to standards to get in the infrastructure and the policies in place. We'll require partnership, and I think that's where this gathering is very important. We'll require partnerships from the industry, we'll require partnerships from all stakeholders, academia, so that we can get, we can put 1 and 1 together and make that become 11. We also would require citizen engagement, and for doing all this, we are looking at 17 new policies to be brought in the next possibly 60 days. We are also looking at creating 3 new missions, which Mr. Satyanarayana will explain to you in his presentation. We're also looking at development of infrastructure and ecosystem. And this would all be driven through creating ITIRs, making policies for ITIRs, trying to create mega IT hubs, electronic manufacturing clusters, try and create a system where we can give you fast-track project development and procurement system, going for preferential market access for smaller players. We're also looking at training SEZs, innovation academies, and quality in education, looking at process transformation, make use of social media for citizen engagement, and ultimately to take information technology to the last mile, fiber to the village, and actually developing applications on top of that particular fiber. Friends, in terms of the policy framework, as I explained to you, we are looking at the IT and the electronics policy. All of you are aware that the state of Andhra Pradesh has an IT policy, has an electronics policy, has a policy on gaming, that is gaming, animation, media, and entertainment. Possibly we'll need to revisit some of these policies because some of those policies were made out with Hyderabad as a perspective. But possibly we'll have to look at the other towns which have to be developed in the state of Andhra Pradesh. You're also aware that we have a preferential market access policy for the projects which have bidded out by government. We possibly again need to revisit this so that the smaller and the medium companies can be further preferred whenever the government procurement is involved. We are looking at the solar power, green IT, and e-waste policy. And most importantly, we are also looking at trying to create an innovation fund which can help incubators and accelerators to create a startup ecosystem in the other part of Andhra Pradesh. In terms of the proposed initiatives and policies, I'll not go through it. We have already put all this together in the blueprint that has been circulated to the industry. But we are looking at effective single window mechanism, try and create nodal officers who can handhold the investors, access to the government information systems, promote the culture of innovation and entrepreneurship, especially startups, because this is where we expect the next generation growth to come in from. We are also looking at seeding educational and R&D institutions. You're all aware that the state reorganization bill promises IITs, IIMs, and other institutes of repute in the other part of the state. So possibly those things will be harnessed. We're also looking at trying to get anchor clients into some of the infrastructure that's already available, and the support to the R&D institutions by getting sponsorships on the PhD program. We already have an established tie-up with Indian School of Business, plus the Netherlands Scientific Organization for R&D support. Possibly we'll use that and try and create a culture for research and development in the state of Andhra Pradesh. In terms of the proposed initiatives in infrastructure, we're looking at public-private partnerships, not just for the development of infrastructure, but for the overall growth of the industry. We're also looking at developing 2 project proposals for information technology investment region, one in the areas around Visakhapatnam and the other one near Tirupati Anantapur area. We are looking at incubation spaces. As I already mentioned to you, incubation spaces are ready in Visakhapatnam, Kakinada, and Tirupati, and would be started off in the next month or so. And we're expecting incubators to come and start operating from some of these premises. We're also looking at creating IT hubs in other towns like Guntur and Anantapur, especially Anantapur because of the proximity of Anantapur to Bangalore and the international airport there. We also look at the policy wherein we provide support to developers for developing EMCs, IT parks and SEZs. Already one EMC is proposed in Anantapur district. We're possibly looking at 10 more EMCs in the next 1 year in many other cities. Subsidy on bandwidth for connectivity and all the other incentives would also be revisited so that the IT policy which the state lays out is attractive and favorable for the startups and the companies which are interested to invest there. In terms of the institutional framework, Mr. Satyanarayana will explain to you in his presentation that we are trying to create 3 new missions which would look into the e-governance, the promotions part, and the capacity building and skilling part. And these missions would function on a mission approach and would have a lot of flexibility in terms of their operational and financial execution. When we do that, we are also going to release the innovation policy. The Honorable Chief Minister is already writing to the top CEOs, 100 CEOs of IT bellwether companies. We are also planning a mega IT event, possibly in a month's time, this time with the Chief Minister in Visakhapatnam, wherein we are also going to be unveiling the new IT and the SMAC policy for the state of Andhra Pradesh. We're also looking at a social media conference to harness the advantages social media provides to the multiple government departments. Within the next 60 days, we are looking at creating the innovation fund and, as I mentioned, the new policies for IT hardware, game and SMAC. The next 100 days, we are looking at launching the PhD and the skill development programs, laying foundation for 2 electronic manufacturing clusters. I understand there are a lot of issues which were highlighted in the indoor meeting that we had an hour before about Madhurwada. There are a lot of pending issues within Madhurwada layout that we have in Visakhapatnam. We've taken it upon ourselves to sort those issues out in the next 100 days. In the next 1 year, we expect to bring IT majors and filling up our incubation spaces. We expect to grow at double the rate at which the country is growing in terms of IT, bring in 30% growth rate. We expect to get the sanction for Vizag and Tirupati ITI from Government of India, sanction of EMC in Vizag and Anantapur from Government of India. We'd like to leverage AP diaspora and the entrepreneurs who have come for this gathering to come and invest in the state and also look at developing IT park in Nellore. Friends, this was a brief overview of what we intend to do in the state. Obviously, this meeting is not here to market the state. This meeting is being actually conceptualized primarily to get your inputs on how to take IT and how to improve the image of Andhra Pradesh as information technology investment destination and collect the inputs from the industry so that all those inputs can be factored in when we draft policies and programs. Once again, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of you and my gratitude for having been part of this summit at such a short notice. Thank you very much.